Good evening. The February 2nd meeting of the Clayton County Board of Education is called to order. Would you please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Board members, in accordance with Board Policy BH, it is the duty of every board member to avoid both conflicts of interest and appearance of such conflicts. Does any board member have any known conflict of interest or appearance of such conflict with respect to any matter scheduled to come before the board at this meeting or appearing on our proposed agenda? If so, please identify the conflict or appearance of conflict and refrain from participation in the matter involved. We have no recognitions this evening. As far as I know, we have no public officials present this evening. So, board members, we do need to go into executive session. We do need to discuss personnel issues and acquisition of real estate. Those are the two things that I've been told. Ms. Corey?
I thought last week we were supposed to have a discussion. He said personnel. I thought we had a discussion about legal
I
issues.
had asked Mr. Doyle before we came in this evening, Ms. Dory, and he said there wasn't anything, but
I thought we were supposed to have gotten an update. That was the last thing we said last Monday.
I tell you what, we'll put legal issues on there, and then when we come back out, if it turns out that that's not what we need to do, we'll tell everybody, okay? Is that good?
Yes, thank
So
you.
I need a motion to go into executive session to discuss personnel, real estate acquisition, and possibly litigation. Ms. Gore, are you going to make that motion?
Yes, so moved, Madam Chair.
And Ms. Baker?
Second.
And board members, if you would vote to go into executive session, please. And it is unanimous. Thank you. We'll be back as soon as we can. The board is back from executive session where we discussed personnel issues, acquisition of real estate, and we did speak briefly about litigation. So litigation is in that mix. And thank you for being patient and waiting on us. This evening, our announcements will be presented by Mary Baker.
Thank you. Good evening, Madam Chair, board members, district administrators, and citizens of Clayton County. Here are the announcements for the month of February. The second month of the calendar year serves as American Heart Month, National Black History Month, National Parent Leadership Month, and National Youth Leadership Month. February 14th is Valentine's Day, wink, wink, men. The district-wide Hear Our Voices competition is scheduled for Friday, February the 6th at the Performing Arts Center on Mount Zion Parkway, and the contest begins at 8 a.m. The district-wide 2014-2015 Social Studies Fair will take place Saturday, February 7th at Morrow Middle School on Trammell Road, beginning at 9 a.m. The fourth of the series of the Professional Learning Days for the 2014-15 school year will take place on Wednesday, February 11th. Excuse me. The schedule for early dismissal of our students is as followed. All primary and elementary schools except for Unidos will be dismissed at 1:15. Unidos Elementary will dismiss at 2 o'clock. Middle schools and elite scholars will dismiss at 2:30. High school will dismiss at 2 o'clock. Eddie White Academy at 1:25. And finally, Ash Street will dismiss at 2 o'clock. All schools and offices will be closed Thursday and Friday, February the 12th and 13th for the winter break, and on Monday, February 16th in observance of President's Day. The district will return to the regular schedule on Tuesday, February 18th. On Saturday, February 21st, the district will hold the 2014-15 Science and Engineering Fair at Morrow Middle School on Trammell Road. The event is scheduled to begin at 9 a.m. The February board work session is scheduled for Monday, February 23rd at 6 p.m. That meeting will be held here in the boardroom. And finally, the March board meeting will be here in the boardroom on Monday, March 2nd at 6 p.m. Madam Chair, that concludes tonight's announcements.
Thank you, Ms. Baker. Board members, we need to approve the minutes of our board meeting from January the 5th. Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes for January the 5th, the board meeting? And seeing none, then they will be approved as they have been submitted to us. Ready for our superintendent's report.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, Madam Chair, Madam Vice Chair, members of the board, and the community. As we return to school in the opening days of 2015, several historic firsts took place in our school district. On January 5th, we cut the ribbon and opened our newest school, the Mary E. Stilwell School of the Arts. The action elevated a fine arts program to school status and fulfilled a long-standing dream that began with the completion of the Performing Arts Center nearly 2 decades ago. Hundreds of people were on hand for the ceremony and the student-led tours that followed. On January 12th, the district formally opened its first school-based health clinic. The Family Health Center at North Clayton High School becomes the first school-based health center in Clayton County and the 7th comprehensive school-based health center in the state of Georgia. We are pleased to join with the Family Health Centers of Georgia in offering quality health care services for the students and staff of North Clayton High School and the students of North Clayton Middle School, Northcutt Elementary School, and West Clayton Elementary School. And it is the first high school in the state of Georgia. So here's a look at this special event.
Clayton County Public Schools applied for a planning grant with the Emory Urban Health. On July 15, 2013, we were awarded that grant. The process began with an internal team. The internal team met looking at how we would roll this out to stakeholders, how we would communicate to our parents, and ensuring that we did a great job of making people knowledgeable about school-based health centers. We continued to plan, and at the end of the planning grant then met with the superintendent and received her blessing on full implementation of the school-based health center. We also formed the school-based health center advisory team, and we continue to meet collaboratively with the Family Health Centers of Georgia, who has been on board and who has shown full support of this implementation since the very beginning in the planning process. We could not have done this without the support of the Clayton County Public Schools, without the support of the superintendent, and every stakeholder, committee, organization, agency that sat on the committee and gave their input throughout the process. All of this knowledge and information has been a long journey of a year and a half, but it has been a journey well worth it. We're very pleased with the school-based health center. Clayton County Public Schools.
Very good. Thank you. And I cannot say enough about the splendid work of Tamara Foley, who is our Executive Director of Teaching and Learning, and her community-based steering committee. They brought a school-based health center from the drawing board of dreams to the reality that you see. We are hopeful that additional school-based health centers will follow. In mid-January, the district celebrated the work of 90 employees during the 2015 Employee Recognition Ceremony. The employees were nominated for their exceptional work ethic and their commitment to making Clayton County Public Schools the best district in Georgia. The night featured tributes to 6 employees who were chosen the best of the best. And I want to thank Dr. Gloria Duncan, her professional learning staff, and our community partners for making an evening with the stars a memorable success. This past week, the school district crowned its outstanding student spellers during the 2015 Spelling Bee. The district joined with the Clayton County Association of Educators in hosting the event. 49 students took to the stage at the Tarpley Hall at the Performing Arts Center and competed for 13 rounds. A quartet of middle school representatives earned the top 4 places in the competition. The winners are, first place, Caleb Iduwu, a sixth grader from Kendrick Middle School. Second place, Nadia Williams from Rex Middle. Third place, Jada Gilly from Point South Middle School. And fourth place, Andra Johnson, Eddie White. And you see them on the screen. All of these students will advance to the next round of competition in the Georgia Association of Educators District Level Spelling Bee on Saturday, February 28th at Sequoia Middle School, and good luck to all of them. Clayton County Public Schools and all school systems across our state have the opportunity to shape the future of public education in Georgia. To accomplish this, our Board of Education must select a flexible model that's established by the state. We have scheduled a series of 4 public information sessions that will give community stakeholders an opportunity to learn about the options, to ask questions, and to voice concerns. Everyone is encouraged to attend and participate as the district moves forward in determining which of the available models will serve our county best as we work to improve academic achievement. And as we move closer to playoff action in high school basketball, 3 Clayton County school basketball programs are maintaining their status among Georgia's top programs. As reflected in the latest Atlanta Journal-Constitution rankings posted on February 1, 3 of our schools are ranked. The Jonesboro High School girls team holds a record of 23 wins, 1 loss, and is ranked 2nd in the 4A classification. Forest Park School girls team has a record of 20-4 and is ranked 5th among the schools in the 5A. And the Jonesboro High School boys 2014 4A state champions are currently ranked number 1 in their classification with a record win of 23 wins, 1 loss. Congratulations and best of luck in the weeks ahead. And finally, we anticipate that more than 35 of our student athletes will participate in National Signing Day, which will take place this Wednesday, February 4th. These graduating football players are expected to sign their names to letters of intent to accept scholarship offers from junior colleges and 4-year colleges and universities from across the country, from coast to coast. Institutions of higher learning that will benefit from these talented scholar athletes include the University of Tennessee, the United States Military Academy at West Point, East Carolina University, Jacksonville State, and Bethune-Cookman. We are excited for each of these young people as they prepare to begin their next great adventures. Good things are truly happening in Clayton County Public Schools. Madam Chair, this concludes my report.
Ms. Jackson, I have to tell you that I was at the spelling bee when it ended, and the 6th grader who won leapt over the seats and grabbed his mom and dad, and they were about 3 seats back, and he was just yelling, "I did it, Mama, I did it, I did it." It was absolutely precious. Ms. Gorey?
Question regarding the spelling bee winners, will we have them come to the board meeting for recognition? I think that would be a good thing, because more than likely, I know that they will go before the commissioner's office or whatever, and or somewhere else. And I think it's when we have accolades like this, I think the children deserve to come before the school board and be recognized.
Couldn't agree more. The winning word was irreconcilable, Ms.
Right.
Gloria. I thought that was a great word. And the children were just amazing. And some
Right.
very young children were in right to the very end. So I'm proud of our students extremely.
Right.
Okay, board
And
members.
I was,
Oh, I'm sorry, go
the
ahead.
other thing, I want as far as the flexibility model meetings, I did send you a question. I noticed that we have 4 areas, but it seemed to me that we kind of excluded one side of the county in that we don't have a meeting in the Morrow area. We're meeting at Drew, we're meeting at Forest Park, and I think we're meeting at Monday's Mill and at Jonesboro, but we're not meeting at Morrow, not unless you added something that I didn't see. So are we going to do that? And then, we had a plan that we talked about with the at the retreat, and I believe that we've also you sent us some information about a steering committee. So I guess what I'm trying to find out, I don't know who the members are on the steering committee. That's not been shared with us. And I think we do need parents to be involved in the choice that we make for our model, because it will affect the children. So I would like to know, how are we allowing parental involvement other than just inviting them to a meeting? Where are we allowing them to have some say-so in the model that we select?
Yes, ma'am, we are, and we can take a look at them tomorrow.
Okay, I got that about Morrow. My last question was, you sent us a letter about a steering committee that you were sending out. The board doesn't know who's on the steering committee, and I think I asked when we talked about this, how we were going to include parents, other than them coming to a meeting and sitting, listening to what is presented to them. How do they actually have any input in the decision-making process? Parents need to be included. Their children will be the ones that are involved in what we decide to do. And I don't want us to just select a model and not get stakeholder input. We've been down this road before. I have clearly heard the governor talk about failing schools. And we've already been made an example once, and I don't want to be made an example twice because we don't have the input that we need and we don't make the right decision. So that's what I'm trying to get an answer. I've asked you several times, but I haven't gotten an answer.
And you're exactly right, Ms. Glover. We don't want to be made an example again, and so, therefore, this is we do have members of the community on the committee. We have different, as the criteria was given to you, different entities represented. And you're right about, because this is the operational piece, it is the committee is the one that is just working to come together to give the board a recommendation, to do the work, all of the work that the board cannot do. And this is not a board committee, so it is a working committee for staff and different ones from the community. So yes, ma'am, I'm taking in consideration that we don't want any kind of mingling of responsibilities, and making sure that we are doing what the board is supposed to do and what staff is supposed to do. So we're making sure that this is a working committee of staff and community, and different ones from the community that represents. And as I said in the criteria, we're looking at faith-based, we're looking at the different organizations in the district, and different ones from all across the community.
Okay, so I'm not trying to be on the committee. I'm trying to do my job as a board member, which is supervise the superintendent, and I'm asking the superintendent to tell me who's on the committee. I'm trying to do my job, which is to be a supervisor. So that's the question I'm asking you: who's on the committee, and how many parents do we have? Parents on the committee, and and the people that you're putting on the committee, what's the criteria? I don't have a problem if it's the chairperson of Jeff Turner. I don't have a problem if it's the chamber, whatever. If it's faith-based. What I have a problem with is excluding parents. That's what I have a problem with.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you just putting one person on there that's the PTA, the person that's over PTA, that's not good enough for me. Because I see parents that are sitting right out here in the audience right now, and it would really be smart if we just, sent a letter out and like I said before, we had just asked to get representation from every school. Of course, we probably wouldn't, but the fact that we do have some concerned parents, we should have asked them to be on the committee. So it's not a matter of me trying to meddle. I'm not trying to get in your meeting, and I'm not trying to do that. I just ask who's on the committee because I think that you have a responsibility to report that to the board, because we're the ones that are either going to say yes or no to your recommendation. We don't need to be left out. And see, that's really a problem that I'm having, because you're talking about going back. We always want to throw SACS out there. SACS did not tell the board to just be figureheads and just be ignorant of whatever's going on with the school district. SACS did say for us to do our job and supervise our only employee. So if I ask a question, I would really like an answer. I haven't seen any criteria, because we tried to discuss this before. And just putting it on the agenda and just, having a statement or two that's not criteria. So I would greatly appreciate it if you could send me the information that I'm asking for.
Yes, ma'am.
I think board members were ready for the consent agenda. The consent agenda includes the purchasing report, the financial report, the SPLOST 4 revenue report, the 2014-15 mid-year adjustments for the budget, the banking resolution, the financial audit and SPLOST performance audit for FY 2013, the personnel changes report, the SPLOST construction update, and the resolution for Monday's Mill, Middle, and McGarrett Elementary. And for those of you that are kind of new to board member meetings, we discussed all this at our last meeting, okay? So we discuss it, and then we come back at a regular board meeting and we vote, okay? So the consent agenda is out there, and I'm ready for a motion for your pleasure. Ms. Baker?
Madam Chair, I move that we accept the consent agenda.
And I need a second. Ms. Burrows?
I second the motion.
And all in favor, if you would please vote at this time. Hang on, let me clear my board, okay, just a second, and then I'm going to make you vote again. I'm sorry. Okay, my board's clear. Now if you would vote, please. I need y'all to vote. Okay. The motion passes with 4 in favor and 2 in opposition and 1 abstention, and I happen to be the abstention. I own a minuscule number of stock, shares of stock in one of the companies on the purchasing report. Very minuscule. I wouldn't earn a buck, but just for pure disclosure, I'm going to abstain from a vote on that one. Thank you. Okay, we're down for the business agenda, and we're voting on the calendar for the school year FY 2015-16. The floor is open for a motion regarding the proposed calendar. Ms. Baker.
So moved.
And I need a second. Ms. Burrows.
I second the motion.
Board members, if you would vote your pleasure regarding the calendar. And the motion, do I have all my votes in? Yeah, the motion passes with 5 votes in favor and 2 in opposition. Yes, ma'am.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
The calendar is on there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, my mic won't come on. Anyway, I'm loud enough. Before at the January meeting, board meeting, I asked to discuss consideration of changing the time of our meeting. And you said that we would discuss it, but we've never discussed it. So I would like to know what I need to do to get that on the agenda, or any consideration. I think what I said to you at that particular meeting, we had some people that signed up to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked that either we try to change the meeting time, or else have a set time on our agenda for parents to come and speak. Because 6 o'clock meetings are really, it's hard for a parent to come if they did want to come. Because for example, today, they shut down the interstate. And just trying to get rush hour traffic, trying to get back home or do whatever you need to do. 6 o'clock is too early. So I'm thinking at least if nothing else, we could say public opinion or whatever, participation at 6:30 or something to that effect.
Ms. Corey, would you submit that for the February work session, and we'll be glad to put it on there.
Okay, thank
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, we're down to recommendations from executive session, and we do, first of all, the superintendent has submitted an administrative personnel re-election list. So board members, I need to know your pleasure regarding the superintendent's recommended re-election list. Ms. Baker?
Madam Chair, I move that we accept the superintendent's recommendation list.
Okay, and Ms. Johnson, were you seconding that? Okay, Ms. Johnson is the second on that. And board members, if you would vote your pleasure at this time. The motion passes with 4 votes in favor and 3 in opposition. Okay, good. And then we have a personnel recommendation. Madam Superintendent?
Yes. The recommendation this evening is Assistant Principal for Smith Elementary, Ms. Tanquita Lewis.
Board members, I need to know your...
Tanquinetta, I'm sorry. Is that the way?
Candy works.
Okay.
I need a motion regarding the superintendent's recommendation for this personnel action. Ms. Goree?
So moved, Madam Chair.
And I need a second. Ms. Baker?
Second.
And board members, if you'd vote your pleasure at this time. The motion passes with 5 in favor and 2 in opposition.
Okay. Ms. Lewis? Thank you.
Board members, I think that completes our business for the evening. So I'm calling this meeting adjourned.